Chirchir. Chirchir. Ah, you got my hair, dude. Ah. What's up, Mama? You want help? Help, Kitty. Help, Kitty. Okay. Don't scare your spawn. You gonna jump at that? That's a mom. You gonna jump at her for being a silly? Help, kitten. Help, kitten. Help, kitten. Ugh. Knock, knock. Yo, mama. You want out? I'll get you. I'm going to get you. You buttos. Ready, mama? Go. Be free. Be free. Oh, my leg hurts. Be free. Be free. Crazy town. Puppies over here. Move. That's like
That's just
no,
some of the rubber stuff.
that's not rubber. That's not rubber.
I don't know what that is.
Huh?
I don't know what that is.
Okay. I'm mad at you boys for I brought in like foam and like keys and stuff. Yeah. Off you.
You ready to go back in the den?
Yo, ma'am. Stop it.
You gotta go back in. I'm sorry, Mama.
Your sister's back. Oh my god, Mom.
Hey. Calm down, Satan children.
here, Mama. Okay, Mama, get out. Come on. Out. Out, Clara. Go. Out. Clara, now. Out. Out, out, out. Go. Go. Get out. Come on. Pick a direction. Clara. Get out. Thank you. Do not come back in here now. So I think I'm gonna try notepads, but we're gonna leave them here so that in case we need them. Yeah. And I'll stop and get bins. Remind me that I'll stop and get bins tomorrow on the way home. Did you see him messing with the mats at all?
Nope.
Okay.
Just potty pad.
That's good, but I mean, but that's also why I'm thinking about removing the potty pads because
Maybe
they're just messing with them and
I mean, I will say they're not messing with the potty pads as much as before.
Are the zip ties on your side or are they over your side? Clara, if you do not stop it, ma'am, we're gonna have to have words. Stop now. No.
Okay, because I found two in a bin.
No, there's a bag around here somewhere. Not a bunch of them in the bag, but it's probably over here somewhere. Something ridiculous like that. Hang on, guys. Hang on.
Clara!
Get out. Out. Get out. Get out. Stop it. What's going out? You want to look up? Come on. Come on, Seawolf. Come on. We have escapees that are coming this way, so. We don't have, let's see, 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, so I don't count anybody. You didn't find it, did you? Can you go on my phone or your phone or the computer or whatever and see if the camera can see over this? That's where we are right now. Ow, guys, come on, stop it. Guys. Jeez, come on, get out. Stop, buddy. No, sir. No, sir. You guys can't have them. If you wanted them, you have to go up. There's one.
them right now. Found the zip ties.
Thank you.
They're right here the whole time. I assume we need scissors.
But I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
Guys, come on. Why did you ask to go in if you just wanted to get out? You were already out. One second, guys. We'll fix you up again. Come on, dude. Yo. I feel like you shouldn't be allowed to make any noise based off what you did in between the hours of 2 and 5 a.m.
Fun.
They're like, we made no such bargain.
Yep.
Ow! Guys.
Patrick's
Dude. No, sir.
You coming out, Bubs?
Huh?
Yeah, that was full on ankle bite.
Yo.
Yeah, I know. We've been doing this to me since 11 now. See, Wolf, I know you're the biggest button, but you still need identification. You're gonna have to wait. Move. Here you. No, sir. Hey. Sir, come here. Ow.
I'm sorry, did I ask you for you to go?
Move. You're correcting the wrong button. Correct the one that's my no-show. You're done? You done, bud? No, Clara. Move. Yeah. You.
Patches, we're gonna have words, and they're not gonna be nice ones. If you're hungry, you should have gone in a kennel to eat, sir.
You don't eat human flesh.
Stop numbing me. Who? Really, dude?
Done, bud?
Alright. We're gonna move you guys. Hold on just a second. I'm just, trying to figure this out.
No, ma'am.
I'll move you safely. So, in case anybody's curious as to why this is happening, Hellcat decided to go toy box diving this morning.
Multiple times.
And she also did it before I left. And she did it again by the time Emily got up this morning. So, we're having to kind of make a snap alteration to the whole kennel thing. Because Hellcat decided she wanted to be cray-cray. So, here we are.
I'm gonna leave you guys there for a second. Hey, stop biting that, sir. Hey, y'all, knock it off. Well, Clara was like, Cassius, I'm done with you biting me.
That's enough, Clara.
Clara.
I think he gets it this time.
Maybe debatable. I vote that we kill him. Maybe, unsure. He could just die. It's fine. Okay, I'm gonna hand you this. I'm trying to figure out.
Crap, kid. Calm down.
Clara, leave him be. Technically, I also think it's an interaction. Hey, come on, get out that potty.
Did it move?
A little, yeah. Did it not? I don't know if it'll.
Yeah, I know it's hard to make it go down.
Right, because I don't want it to go, you know, and I want to be able to see all the kennels. Is that where to put it?
I think so. Can't tell.
Hellcat! Come on, babe. Why are you this way?
I took my collar off by myself.
Oh, child.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh no. She's coming to get us.
You little spawn. Come here. No, do not do that, ma'am.
Why are you playing in a potty? Huh? Why are you playing in a potty? Okay, I can't see that. I just have to live that life. I just want to up a little tiny bit in. Or are you happy with this?
I'd rather have. Sorry, guys.
I'd rather have that kennel because we're doing so much kennel work. There, yeah, I don't want to not be able to see them at all. I don't need to see the whole thing though. But I hate to say, like, I don't care about the potty. I already know how that happens. I don't care about the poops.
No.
I don't need a record of poops.
Also, completely undog related. These are my favorite leggings besides the wolf leggings. I love them. And I hate pink. But I love it. Like, I don't know why I like these ones so much, but I do. I like wearing a Woodman bar shirt. I think that's perfect. Because when you can see those, you can't see all the stuff on top of the kennels, but I still definitely get them to here in here,
Yeah.
which is as tall as they are, which is all I care about. I don't care about them standing up or being ridiculous. I just care about that. Okay.
And I also care about Hellcat not helping herself to this toy bin.
Ma'am,
She's like, what?
why
What
are we
is-
in the potty?
It's clunky.
I really wonder if they want more room. If that's part of it. But I don't want to create potty mess.
Yeah.
I think part of this is them just being free.
My breeder was like, there's like quite a lot of space.
They do, but they also obviously use it all.
Yeah.
The deal is too, is that we come in here and Clara comes in here, so they do have a lot of space, but I would rather them have more space and potty better than be in their potties. You can't have them.
She's been flying.
I know, that's why they're all locked. Because that's why she was coming in here. It wasn't because she wanted to be by her spawn.
Oh no.
It wasn't because she wanted the wigsies. She was like, give me that.
No. You can't have that.
Here's Eddie.
What?
Move. Move. Move.
Did you have to do that, Teeny? Your sister was just trying to eat and you like body slam her? What a jerk.
She's like, my name's not Jerky, it's Montini.
Yeah, well that's your second name. That's a Stratus on your back.
Hello.
And a jerk.
Hi, Jerk. Why are you biting my arm?
Because we are
You
little
can't have these. You already
piranhas.
absconded with 2 of them. You cannot have any more. Whoopsie, sorry,
You're
kids.
like, whoa.
What was that? Why you do that to us? Sorry, kids. Didn't mean to scoop you. Oh, sweet girl, love this thing. There you go. I know you guys like the hammock bed.
We love it.
I really didn't think they would like it, and I was like, Herman's a hammock bed. I
Yeah,
hate hammock
Bodie
beds.
was doing the whole list.
And they really like it. I hate it. I hate hammock beds. There's no justification. I just don't like it. I just personally find them absolutely annoying.
Oh, there's all the rags also.
Where, in God's name,
What?
are all the rags?
On
Because
the wrong side.
Because I've been putting them up here so we can reach them.
Same, but they're on the wrong side. And there's more over here, but I'm holding them.
Oh yeah? Oh yeah? I'll hold them a second. Because I'm gonna let them be crazy till they tucker out. They do better with pictures when I let them turn into psycho demons. And then they're like not okay with not having access to this kennel. They're like seriously objecting.
They love that kennel.
I'm gonna look at it. No. You gotta wait. Why are we all trying to get in here together? Look at this. Look at what's happening to me. There's like 6 of them here. 1, 2, 3.
So, I think it was yesterday or sometime this week, Kelly laughed at me and had her judgy face when I was just counting buns in the pen. And then this morning, out of habit, I counted buns in the pen, and one was missing.
What are you doing here? Hellcat, why are you trying to eat the bottom of my climb? This is literally why we don't have nice things. You are why. Like me, I know my brothers. What are you doing? Are you going in there? Bye. See you later.
Fit in there?
Yes, she does.
Okay.
Who knew, right? Who freaking knew? Just get out of that potty, sir. Like, no, I love it here. This is what happens when your dog cleans up all of your puppy's potty mess. They're like, this potty smells cool.
Yeah, it doesn't smell like potty.
And I'm like, why does it smell like potty? Also, that adactyl, I'm gonna have to see what if I can get some locally, because we're not gonna talk about how much of that I ended up having to use last night. So, for inquiring minds and all that.
Do you have space up there for those splashes?
Yeah, I just need to get them some toys first.
Yeah, no, I just can't see on that side, that's all.
What are you guys doing, man? This is a good toy. Here, you guys can have that. Woo! There's a fish. That's a fox. one. You guys can have the pheasant. He's new to you. And then you guys can have the. We have a lot of fox toys. We're not going to talk about how many fox toys I have. And then I think I'm going to give them. Where is it? I know it's in here somewhere. Watch out. And I'm sorry that you guys are kind of moving a little bit. I'm working on it. But I'm like leaning over the whole. I think I relocated them. Sorry, guys. I have to zip tie you down. I haven't really gotten there yet. I'll get to them from the other side. I'm just trying to figure out, like, no ma'am, no ma'am, move, move. I don't have food, move. It's zip ties. What are you gonna do? Eat them?
Yeah.
Oh, Christ on a cracker. Just like such a little turd nugget sometimes. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you guys up to, you little heathens? That's why you guys can't have nice things. That's why, right here.
What, now you're wanting your tail?
Who knows, ma'am? She's just like.
Here, have fun. I didn't think so.
And you guys that are watching, you just wait till they realize the camera's right here. Sorry, guys. What? Huh? Oh, shit, sorry. Sorry, guys, I'm working on it. Sorry. I said sorry. I mean, I didn't go throw up in there, but I'm just saying. I said I didn't go throw up in there, but I'm just saying. Sorry. Okay, I have no idea how I got this at the right height the first time. Sorry that you guys get to watch my hand a lot. Hatches. Sir, get out of that potty, bro. He's like, no, not at this foot.
Meanwhile, Papa, he was like all over him.
There's more. totally like, I don't know, this thing is touching my butt. Hopefully it stays in place. So you guys get to see my head. Sure, buddy. Whoops, come on. Buddy, why are you this way right now? Come on. Sir. Oh. Easy, Tom. Yeah, you got all your toys? You guys all crazy everywhere? Oh, is everything like crazy everywhere? I know. Watch the teepus. Are we done? Oh, that's right here. Hi, you. You're today. I see you. I see you. Hello, sir. No, I'm not going to bite me. That's so rude. You're not here, man. Thank you. Oh, okay. Ow, sir. That's my finger. Can't have that either. Alright, are we done now? Can we all take a moment? No, we can't. Your mama's gonna come and get you. She doesn't like it when you do this. You know these things. She gets annoyed with you when you do it. Nope. Launchy McLaunchy pants. Hey, come here. You guys are all clearly your mother's children. Launchy children. Launchy children. Are you making a scrunchy face? See what makes a scrunchy face. What about you, Warbun? You have a war face? Seabun has a war face. Where's your war face? Put on your war face. Hey, children. What you doing? Jerk Jerk has a war face. Nice, silly pants. Hello. Oh. Stratus, are you just pooped, dude? He's like, I suffered. Go see Auntie Annie? Huh? Go on. Go see. Here, you guys can have that. Whew. Hey, can you look at that screenshot on camera, like, and see how it looks since I had the zip tie down? It's
like right there on the other corner.
Oh, here, you guys can have this. You can go over too. It's like foamy. Like, dude.
Oh.
You can see the climb, you can see the whole play area. You can't see the water bucket, but that's good. Then the water bucket is blocking the play area.
Mm-hmm.
Look at all these there. They have tons of toys. Tons of insanity.
How kidding? Your chip stuff.
So I'm thinking, let me two, three. So I think I need two more.
Yeah. You just want to order for pickup?
Huh?
You want to order for pickup?
For what?
Or pickup?
Oh, I'm gonna probably just stop and pick them up tomorrow. Just go
Oh,
grab them.
okay.
Or I might order them for pickup, but like, I'm not gonna do it tonight. I'll just figure it out later. Either tomorrow I'll be able to order it while I'm at work, or like, you know, on my lunch break or something, or I'll just go pick them up on my way home.
Yeah.
But then I hate to say like, okay, well, if I take pictures later or whatever tomorrow night, it's not as big of a deal.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like tonight or something. You just can literally have all the toys if you don't scream tonight. Kinda how I feel about it. Alright. What do you want? I'm tired. You hungry? Yeah, I'm gonna put food down for you, and then you should just eat it. I don't need this to be some kind of weird Broadway production. Do you understand me?
I got it for lunch. My waiter guy just hung around, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So like in the house delivery instructions, I was like, hey, text me at blah blah when you get here so that sleeping puppies don't get grumpy.
Right.
And so he text messaged me and he's like, hey, I'm in the driveway. Did you want me to come to the door? Did you want to come in the car? I'm like, we'll go to your car. And he was like, wait, what do you mean puppies? Like he's like actual puppies? And I'm like, yeah, we have 8 of them in there.
If you ate them up, I swear to God.
Right, and he's like, I know this sounds really, really weird, but can I peek at them through the door?
I'm like,
I'm like,
dude, you can come
yeah.
all the way in, bro. Did you let him come in? Just let him
He
eat.
saw they were sleeping and he didn't want to come in.
Cause I don't
So,
even
like,
care if they come in at this point. I just am like, don't wake the like, don't
yeah, he's
wake
like,
up the whole house.
wow, they're so small. I'm like, they're not small.
Right, I'm like, they're huge.
I'm like, they're huge.
Sorry. So whatever I did to the hose too also must have fixed that.
What did you do to it?
Turn it on, turn it back off again. It's like a computer. So it's a hose. Yeah, internet, I just said that.
It's like a PC. You turn it off and you turn it back on.
Anything. Turn it on, turn it on again.
I'll stop doing photos again, I'm sorry.
I'm not doing it right now, I'm tired. And Clara's outside, I'm just
Ugh.
I really want them to get Tucker out first so that it's not a Broadway production to
Right, yeah.
because that doesn't end well.
Right. So I need 2 more potty bins. I hate. And same amount of zip ties.
I don't even know, like, can I just order them in like the 5,000s?
I don't know.
I'm like there. That's where I'm at right now. My keys missing.
That I have it.
Oh, you're just
8-pack of ties? I want so many zip ties that like I don't even have to think about it. Like
Or they don't
we've
sell them
gone
in packs
through,
of thousands,
we've literally
but
gone through like I would say anywhere from 200 to 300. Because I hadn't bought them in packs of less than 50, and I think I've bought at least 1 pack of 100. So like, you know,
the crappy thing is that these are only 8-inch.
I don't care. They're all like 8-inch ties. You say that like they're not only all that like long.
Some are 18, some are
No,
11.
because like then I have to cut them all down. I'm just doubling up when I have more.
So
I'm
the
like
800 pack sold. People wonder why I'm answering that little about
that's all we know.
So can you think of anything else we need to put in this list?
Just show stuff.
Yeah.
Like, if I could put clippers in here, maybe I can use it. I would like to put a paw conditioner, but I don't really want to get that off Amazon. I hate to say like I like Casey and like those other ones, but I don't like.
And I guess I'll see if I can find anything. I don't see anything. But I almost feel like that's just like I don't want to recommend one particular brand because I make my own, but I can't put that on Amazon.
I'll use both.
They're good. I like them.
So for anybody watching this that's like kind of like, oh, she endorses this thingy bobby, I'm making my list for Amazon so people can see like the things. But like for some of them, like I make my own paw butter. So I'm putting it on there, but like I don't buy it. So I'm just putting a random one. I'm gonna shut this off.
I have to clip all of them today. I just get them all.
And I was like, sure. And I figured for something like this, this guy should be pretty comfortable. Oh, whoa.
Stop.
That's what I Google. That's what I get. Come on now.
Look at what I looked for.
Yeah, I know. And you got some weird bullshit.
Alright, move on, thanks. Yeah, Heather, the Amazon lists are. Wait, hold on. Sorry, Heather, I'm like brain fogging. The Amazon lists are in puppy group. Am I talking to the right Heather? I'm just gonna go like you're the right header. We're just gonna pretend right now because I'm that tired. So please tell me if I'm being stupid. But they're all linked in the file section. There's a file and it's called like Amazon list or something like that. I'll get the name of it for you. And they're all in there. And then rain, fog. I'm going to, when I finish them all, put them in the class, quote, quote, class units that they're appropriate for. So I'm working on them. I just finished, I think, the confirmation one. No, you're cool. I'm like, is this the right Heather? Because I'm like, yeah, it's in the puppy group. It's Heather. Wait a second. What if it's a different Heather? I don't even know. That's not your Facebook name. I can't even function today because these puppies made it so I didn't sleep last night. So I'm like super special today. We're not even going to talk about how special I am today.
Yeah, and I feel bad because I'm on the other side of the house and I actually did get about 3 hours. Meanwhile, Kelly got like 0.
So envious.
Sorry.
Hey Jenna. But yeah, so in the puppy group right now, there's a file and it has all the Amazon lists that I'm gonna make on it, and I think most of them are hyperlinked. They don't all have 100% descriptions, but it kind of gives you guys an idea. The one that I am gonna tell you guys about now, don't get like super excited. One of them that I'm making is like a sport one, but some of those things you guys can't do with your puppies right away, which super stinks. But like, I'm just gonna put them in the list. Like, I'm gonna put a mushing or like a biking harness in there. And it's the same brand that we'll actually introduce the puppies to before they go home. And it's the same brand that I personally like to use with Clara. I also have like 6 other ones that are not that brand. But I'm trying to link stuff up for you. So I'm gonna link a whole bunch of different stuff in some of them. And you'll just have to basically kind of look at some of the units, or if I have a comment saying like, hey, maybe don't use this till you're 2, that kind of thing, because you don't want to hurt them. But I'll go through that stuff later. But just so that you guys know, since you're here watching puppies. And if you guys like the new view, let me know. You might actually end up getting puppy love because of where that camera is now. Technically, I think they can actually reach it. So, you might get like surprise puppies. Because I had to move it because we had to build the wall up higher. Because Hellcat decided she wanted to shop for toys like her mommy. So we had to move it. Because, of course, Hellcat is crazy. So there's that. Yeah. I actually didn't start mushing Clara until she was over 2. But that said, I did introduce her to a harness young. I am all for gear introductions. It's just the weight bearing part or the strenuous activity part that you want to be careful for. So like, for example, I actually ordered a nonstop harness that's for like the size of a Jack Russell Terrier, and it's gonna stay in our puppy kit because I'm gonna put them in it, but I'm not gonna hook them to anything. So it's just so that they can actually feel what it feels like to have it on them. Same way that like putting them in t-shirts or boots or anything like that is something that I personally like to do. It's not so that they can actually injure themselves. It's just like the idea of touching. And then same thing with agility. You don't want to do like high strenuous activities. But like one of our puppy parties, we are actually going to introduce them to agility equipment. They're going to get introduced to a jump, a tunnel. I have some wobble board type stuff. We have a platform. They already, I mean, the climb is basically an agility platform. We have weave poles, of all the things, but they're not going to be allowed to run and make the turns and do the stuff. It's just literally so that they can touch the equipment. And I did the same thing with Clara. I started introducing her to agility equipment around, I want to say like 6 to 9 months old, depending on what the equipment was, because I spaced it out. But she didn't actually do any agility until she was 2. And it's definitely, you want to make sure their growth plates are closed, um, and that they're of the proper age. And you guys are all getting the puppy fitness book in your go home bags. Um, and so it goes through like when the plates close and how that all works and why it's important to wait for them to physically mature before you start doing different activities, and like how long at what age you can walk them, and that kind of stuff. So you guys will definitely have access to all that, but if I'm making all these lists, I do want to make sure too that you can uh, kind of like get an idea for certain things. If you really want to do a specific sport, that you can kind of go, okay, so if I'm not going to go to Kelly's house and steal her agility tunnel, maybe this is a good option. How long do you wait for the growth plates to close? Oh, well, I mean, like, to other puppies and stuff like that, you're gonna start introducing them. I mean, like, they've already met Morgan and Abby, and they'll meet Mouse again, because they don't really remember meeting him. Once they've got their shots and everything like that, as long as they're going to like a puppy class or something like that, or they're going to a friend or a play date where the shots are done, they can start meeting puppies. They'll start meeting puppies and other animals before they even go home. You just want to be careful about it and just make sure it's going to be like positive interactions. You're better off doing like low to no interactions if they're not positive than doing negative ones when you're in the socialization window. But that's easy enough to do. But yeah, you kind of want to make sure too, like the same way that you introduce pups and things slowly, you want to introduce gear and items slowly, but you also want to just make sure that they get exposure to that. You guys also have it, I'd have to go tag it, I'm trying to think of what unit it's in. It might be in the enrichment unit. It's definitely in the files, so that's one way to find it. But there's actually like an exposure socialization like numbers file, which seems really boring, except for the fact that I made it. So it's not boring, because like I'm super cool. That's not why it's cool. The reason it's cool is because it has things set by category. It's one of the ones I use for service dog training. So it's like, oh, here are scents to introduce them to. Here are people to introduce them to. Here are items to introduce them to, or sounds, or whatever. Yeah, no, we can definitely go through introducing him to Priscilla and figuring out the best way to have that happen slowly, but also so that you guys aren't like, oh my god, our house is divided in two, what the heck.
Kelly has already gone through all of this, like, for the past 2 years with me. I don't know if I heard that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I haven't started to do it yet. We actually started scent games on Tuesday, and Heather, you would kind of know, at least it's probably similar, but it was 29 degrees when I left the house this morning. So it was low 40s to mid 40s Tuesday afternoon, right around the sun going down. And it was basically just too cold to start scent games. And one of the things with scent games is I kind of need grass. So I'm kind of SOL without the grass. So I have to be able to go outside. So we might do the introduction a little later than I wanted to, but we'll still do sessions with them and everything like that, and introduce that. And then tomorrow I'll probably start free stacking with them, so you guys can definitely check out those things as well. And I haven't posted them yet, but I've been taking videos of everything that we do with puppy culture, so the box game, different stuff like that, so that you guys can watch along and follow those posts by unit and see how your dogs, I have to basically clip all those so that it's each dog, so that you guys can go and watch
each individual one, or like I'm gonna do it maybe as like one video where I actually put like a header that says like, this is Hellcat, this is War Bun, this is Sea Bun, so that you guys can kind of skip accordingly or watch all of them in one shot. But then it's not like, right now I think all of them are basically like anywhere from 2 to 8 videos that I either have to combine or cut up so that everything's kind of more uniform. But then you guys get to see how your dogs are doing within the program instead of just watching puppy culture and being like, okay, well, so that's cool, but how does that actually apply to like me? But yeah, and that's all in group. There's just a lot in group. Yeah, so so some of that stuff you guys might see a little bit later, and or like when I get some days off around Christmas. Then like we might do it, or like, you know, when JC's here and like Emily goes to get Bun and I have to stay home that day, then like I have a little bit more time to do stuff. And obviously this isn't reflected anywhere, but I literally have, I think, like 9,000 photos and or videos of these puppies from my phone. That doesn't include Emily's, because today
Just today I think I took like 20 or 30.
Because today my iCloud backup was like, you've used 198.5 gigabytes of 200. You should move your shit. And I'm like, okay. I'm gonna basically tag you guys all in a post and or PM everybody individually, Jenna, to make sure that anything that I didn't get in your application or that I haven't talked about you guys talked with you guys individually related to those assignments that I get from you guys before she comes. Some of you guys I've talked to a little bit more in depth, and then some of you guys, your responses in your applications and or just other discussions that I've had with you, even if they seem small, have given us like a good baseline. And then I'm gonna go through all of that. I have basically almost like an Excel sheet that I've started to build of all of that kind of information, and then I'm gonna basically ask you guys to fill in the blanks on some of that, and or like we'll get on the phone and discuss stuff. So no, you're totally good, but I haven't forgotten about it, and I'm still sleep deprived and like ridiculous, but like that is definitely happening. It's also one of those things though, thank God, like she doesn't want that information in advance. And or like it's one of those things that when she gives us the rundowns of the dogs and stuff like that, she tells us, oh, okay, this dog would be better for this situation and that situation and stuff like that. And then part of the reason I want her to do it on the 30th, so hopefully it'll happen that way, not the 31st, is that then we actually have a couple days before the 8-week mark and before you guys get here on the 3rd to be like, okay, let me look at, you know, exactly how all these puppies have turned out and how they're doing, and then let me talk to you guys and be like, okay, now I know kind of what she thinks about the puppies plus what we think about the puppies from our own evals, and then go, okay, I think this is going to be the right match for you, let's discuss this, and, you know, go down the I don't really want to say a list, because it's not like any of you guys are like in an order, you're just kind of all here. But so that we can kind of look at like, okay, you have kids, you have cats, you know, you're looking for this in a dog, you're looking for that in a dog. You want to show, you don't want to show, whatever.
Your preference for gender is sadly.
Yeah, I hate to say everybody's preference for gender just went right out the window, including my own. But it should make all of you guys feel better that Hellcat is insane and none of you guys have to deal with her.
She started breaking out of the puppy pen at 4 weeks old.
Oh my God, right. And actually, we didn't discuss this with you guys able to hear it, but the more and more I think about it, the more and more I wonder if Martini was really out by himself or whether they were both out and whether she got back in. And whether that's what triggered some of the screaming that made me think it was just him, and or like if something else was going on. And or even if he was the first one out, like maybe he's just a little more sane than she is. So like you guys get the blessing of like non-psycho doggos. Meanwhile, I'll take the psycho one. That everybody should know my mother was like, that thing can't come to my house. Because today Emily called me and was like, she's in the toy bin. Your dog is in the toy bin. And I'm like, oh, I forgot to tell you she does that now.
Yeah, and as I was on the phone with her, like, I found her in the toy bin. Hellcat looked at me because Clara borked. And Hellcat looked at me, looked at the toy bin, and she's like, I'm not supposed to be here. I'll go take my happy self back over the wall now. And I literally watched her go back over the wall while I was on the phone with Callie. And then Callie was like, wait, she went back by herself? I'm like, yep. She doesn't need help.
Yeah, so because when I moved her 2 or 3 times this morning, I don't even remember, I had to pick her up and bring her back over. But apparently she can do that on her own. So that's why the camera moved, because I put that wall a board higher. And thank you, Heather. I very well may steal your dog. I haven't really decided if I have that much money, but I very well may steal your dog.
Martini may or may not have been framed. We're not sure.
Yeah. So Jenna, for real though, like we were talking about it, and I was like, you know, after watching them more and more and more, now that they've developed more of their personalities, and the fact that Hellcat gets out and she's really quiet about it, I was like, I wonder, because she got out the next day, not even 24 hours later, and she was calmly out and didn't scream or ask to go back in. And every single time she's gotten out of the kennel, I've only known about it because of Clara, or because I've happened to be looking for her, thinking that maybe she got out, because of the other puppies and the way that they were acting, not because I heard her or because she was doing anything. And it made me start to think about it, and I was like, you know, I really wish I had the camera on at night, or we had night vision or something, because Martini, her, and Warbun aren't always together, but like they do follow each other, and we were watching them try and get in and out of the pen the other day before I raised the roll bars, and Martini and her were constantly trying together to get out. And they would step on each other and or move around to try and get out, and they were like actively trying together, not just like in the same area. Like you could tell they were like, oh, let's both go. And it made me think about it, and I was like, well, what if they've been doing this the whole time? Because it's not just 1 or 2 days that we've seen them do this. Like I've been watching them now for 6 weeks today. And I mean, it's been about a week plus that I've noticed that Hellcat and Martini constantly try and escape together. But Martini rarely makes it, but Hellcat does. Not all the time, but like she makes it out. But she's also apparently getting back in when we thought that they could barely get out. She's like, yeah, whatever, I got this, and she goes right back in too. So I was kind of like, well, I wonder if Martini was only screaming because he couldn't get back in with her. But like they went out together, and maybe they were quiet because they went out together, and then maybe she went back in, and maybe the reason that he screamed, because he was screaming to get back in the gate when I found it, and that's how I knew he was out, because he was screaming, and I went out there and realized he was screaming to get back in, and I was like, okay, well, I'm sure if you fell out, maybe you would be like, wait a second, now I'm not by everybody. But now, I wonder if it was really because there were two of them that were out, and she got back in, and he didn't, and so he was like, why'd you leave me behind? Obviously, this is all speculation. But like, it really made me think like, oh my god, what if it was her too? And she is a ninja. She also screams bloody murder like she's dying for no good reason. So I let her meet Morgan outside of the kennel today. And so I held her, and Morgan was play bowing, being super, super sweet. And he play bowed, and she was a good 4 feet away from him. And she was wagging her tail and like super interested in him and everything like that. And all of a sudden she looks at me, she looks at Morgan, Morgan play bows, and she screams like she's dying. And literally like, I'm not holding her, Morgan's not touching her, no one is within like a good 4 inches of her, and she's screaming like someone stabbed her in the heart. So she's weird. So you guys all dodged a bullet. Emily's like, well, the shoe fits. That's the face Emily just made. Oh, you poor souls. Also, I very well may regret it, but we took away their potty pads. They now have straight up linoleum floor. And tonight we may give them back if it seems like they're having a lot of accidents or something. But I took them away because Emily said she only saw 2 accidents in the pen all day.
And Clara wasn't really in the pen with them.
Right, and that Clara didn't really clean up after them.
No, yesterday she was in the pen a lot, so that's probably why I didn't see anything.
But did you even let them nurse her get out? It takes a while to get out. Or let them nurse. She just started getting to let them nurse her get out. That is what I'm afraid of though. You guys stress me out, man. I'm just gonna eat my food. I hit my karma moment yesterday, and I hit my karma moment today. Right? This is why it doesn't count.
Right.
That's why people don't believe it. Right? I feel like she's totally getting attacked by a horde.
What?
Jenna was like, Clara's being attacked by a horde.
It's
Yes.
very accurate, it is true.
Crazy people nonsense. Crazy people nonsense. Also, when I say that like karma like hit me in 2 days in a row, I'm not gonna say whether it was good or bad karma in either case. I'm just gonna say it really hit me 2 days in a row. Like, seriously. And it's karma. Right?
Yeah,
this idea list thing on Amazon, but I swear to God, adding stuff to it is such a freaking pill. Not at all.
But we love you for doing it.
I'm just happy that I could buy a non-stop harness for the puppies. There was a moment where I didn't think that was happening, guys.
Same.
And I was sad.
Same.
Because I love non-stop, and I was really, really, really sad.
Go to pee. And car's cleaning up, so I don't have to.
Right? It is. It's like little velociraptors,
Come
man.
here, dude. Your turn. Come here, bud. You want to come out here, Chatch? Come here, buddy. Nope. I'm grabbing your Chatch. Stop
It's
it.
really hard, though, too, not to worry about them at the same time that they're like little fierce beasts. Because, like, when she's doing this, I'm like, you're gonna step on them. And it's like literally part of it. There's nothing you can do to like stop it. It's just chance. And she's really, really careful. The issue is that they're babies and they're not careful. So like literally I cringe every time. Cause I'm like, no. Yeah, what are you doing?
Use that sniffer. Use that sniffer. It's a puppy. You say just look at him. He's no cute. He's a cute boy.
I said you're weird. I said you're so weird. I didn't say anything about hatches.
What? Hi, I stole your one. Do you want it back?
But maybe.
You want it back?
We have 7 more ones in there.
So it's just not the same.
It's not the same. There's not, oh goodness, there's not 7 hatches. 7 other hatches in there.
Oh my god, right. Because hatches, you keep biting me feet, and we're gonna have a problem.
I mean, I love your baby geniusness, but your piranha-ness is...
This is not cool, bro.
I think quad pads. That's already 2.
Half the deal is that they have to not go there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Just put a little pad on that
Move on. Oh god, did you give him a Coke bottle? Okay.
It's also good to put on. Without the lid, so that Amber wouldn't like freak out. Clara took the lid off the other night,
Yeah?
and Amber was worried about the puppy.
Got it.
Jenna, that's literally why I made the group, because it's really hard to watch them all. And then like never get updates ever, and you're like, where'd they go?
Hi.
And it was just one of the things that like, not that it's the only thing that I like, because that makes it sound really weird, but like, having a group of people that have dogs from the same breeder as me is just really, to me, it was really helpful and really comforting and really cool, because I could follow puppies from like Clara's litter, and we could talk about stuff like their weights changing over time, and or like, did they all go into heat at the same time, or did they start having a fear period, or like, what are they doing, or also like, we went rock climbing,
Clara,
or
what are you
whatever.
doing?
Why are you being weird and licking the kennels?
There is, so they actually were doing really good for about a week, and, it was really nice. She asked if there's a developmental stage where they don't keep you up all night.
Yeah, there was. Like,
There was probably about a week where we actually did a lot of catch up on enrichment things and other activities that we had to do. And even though we were up late, it wasn't because they were like,
right.
we are going to cause all these problems for you. However, especially when you start introducing crates and they get all this enrichment, when you have high active, high drive dogs, even though they do have an off switch and they develop this off switch as they age, at this age they don't know what that means yet. And they don't know that like it's bedtime. So that's why like we do the classical music, it's why I turn off the lights. It's why even if we don't go to bed, we try and settle them down and let them have nap time. And we also have like a bedtime ritual where like we'll take pictures, do weights, and then we'll play with them a lot and or do some kind of activity that's tiring, like the nails or something like that, so that they get worn down. So that then we turn off the lights and they are like, oh, it's bedtime. And the deal is too, is like, last night, we didn't go to bed early. We didn't go to bed early, but what time did we
Actually, technically we did.
Did we turn off the live cam? I have to go look, but I want to say we turned off the live cam around like 11:50 midnight.
Yeah.
So part of what happened yesterday was my own fault. But at the same time, it's also the age that they're at. Because they're getting to this point where, like, while they're in this pen, they're exploring so much of the pen and trying to explore the rest of the house that, like, they actually know what it's like at this age to be in the rest of the house. So, like, before maybe, I don't know, like a week ago, we'd put them in the kitchen or we'd put them in the den or we'd take them for a walk with us, but, like, they didn't necessarily realize there was a full-fledged way to get out of their pen, but now they do. They know that if they get out of their pen, they're in the den or they're in the kitchen. And like Hellcat knows, because she's a jerk, that if she gets out of the pen, like she can go into my bedroom and play with Morgan. So like, or she can lay on this big fluffy pillow on the ground, or she can go dig in my laundry, or do other hellish cat-like things. So they're starting to figure out that like there's also toys and stuff outside of the pen because their eyesight is getting better and better. So like they can see their wobble board outside of the pen. They can see the kitchen, they can see the tarp, they can see another water bottle, they can see toys. So like at 2 in the morning, they basically woke up and were like, we're bored and we want to do something. And so they decided to not be bored and do something.
Like
and
scream.
It just so happened that that's something that they decided to do was extremely loud and I was extremely tired and grumpy. And so part of it is just definitely that like we want them to be on our schedule and dogs don't actually sleep and or play on a human schedule. For any of you guys that have dogs or if you really watch dogs around you, like family dogs or dogs that other people that you know have, things like that, you'll notice that they don't actually usually sleep all night and stay in one place all night. They sleep for a little while, for like maybe an hour or so, and then they wake up and they move around, and then they usually settle again. And then they get up and move around and settle again. And most older dogs kind of move in between 1 to 3 locations. And most dogs that are kennel trained, they might get up, walk in a circle, or walk out of their kennel back to sleep. So it doesn't really seem like they're moving, so you get this kind of false sense of security that they actually sleep in the same place all night, but they really don't sleep all night. And these guys don't know to be respectful about that because they're still puppies. So they're 6 weeks today, and they have no idea that, like, when I go to sleep, you don't have to be asleep, but you need to be quiet. Whereas,
No,
like,
they didn't get that
that's
message.
what Clara and Morgan do. Clara's up in the middle of the night all the time, and she plays with toys, but she plays with quiet toys. She chews on bones and does stuff like that. She doesn't chew on squeaky toys usually in the middle of the night. So part of this is just the age that they're at and establishing routines with them, and also the fact that they're getting more and more playful. So they're also like, they were up at those hours and at those intervals their whole lives, but it used to be that, like, Clara would just nurse them at those intervals, or that they couldn't really play yet, so, like, we didn't really notice if they were up at 4 in the morning. If we went to sleep, we still got a little bit of a break, even if it wasn't a big one. So, yeah, right?
I can
like
feel your teeth through that. That's a problem.
So that's kind of the deal is they really just have no idea yet that, like, they need to live in our little weird human world. They think that it's puppy world all the time.
That's gonna bruise, dude.
He's like, I don't care.
Ah! These are padded slippers, and, like, Teeny just bit down as hard as he could, and I think my toe is bruised now.
He loves you.
I don't want that kind of love.
But he loves you anyway. But yeah,
And
so that's
more
really
fun.
the deal. It's not
I don't
that
want
they
that kind of love either.
are bad, and I felt really bad last night because
I
part of
hear
it's
that
also
too.
going to be kind of a tough love thing. Like, Morgan and I go visit my parents for the weekend because what I think is going to happen is I think tonight is going to be exactly the same. Because I think that they're going to go, hey, so it was so fun when we woke her up and she walked in here. We're going to do it again. And so the deal is we're actually going to kind of have to, like, let them do their thing. And even if that means that they howl a little in the middle of the night, like, we're just going to have to kind of let them play and be loud and not try and figure out a way to really, like, make them be quiet. So we're going to do, like, more of a settle down routine tonight. So we'll probably turn off, I don't know if we'll do it with the camera on or not, but we'll probably turn off the stream. And we'll probably kind of settle them all in kennels and, you know, like, turn on the calming music a little bit earlier and start turning off the lights and kind of phase them into that. And then hopefully that will make it a little bit easier on them. But yeah, like, I don't want to ignore them if there's something wrong, but basically, even if they're playing, like, crazy loud, I'm going to have to just let them play crazy loud. And to be fair, too, like, they're not screaming like they're tortured or dying. Like, when you kennel dogs, you don't want them to scream it out. Like, when you're teaching, you know, when you're doing kennel training and stuff, you don't want them to scream it out, you want to make them comfortable. But this is like a different kind of screaming it out. This is like the, like, we're having a rave in the middle of the night screaming it out, like the obnoxious college, you know, like people that live in the apartment next to you or something screaming it out. It's not like, oh my god, I'm so afraid and I'm not okay with this. Like, it's not that. It's literally like, I'm jumping in the potty pens and I have the zoomies and
Do you
I'm
have to
completely
wrestle
crazy
on me?
and instead of even trying to adjust or get them to adjust to a different schedule, I'm just gonna let them be insane. And so I think that they are gonna be crazy in the middle of the night. And so I think for probably the next 3 nights I'm not really gonna sleep. And so that's why I think Morgan's gonna stay with my peeps, because the deal is that, like, Emily's far enough away on the other side of the house that, like, technically, as long as I don't have work, if these guys keep me up until like 6 or 7 in the morning, it won't be that big of a deal, because Emily will then wake up and she'll be able to hang out with them and make sure they're okay and do that morning feeding and yada yada yada. Because I can totally I usually put food down for them at about 6:30. So I'll still do all of that, but then if I go to sleep, she can pick up where I left off the same way that we do on weekdays. And then I'll just go to sleep for a little while, and then I'll wake up in the middle of the day, and I'll just kind of be sort of maybe more nocturnal for a couple days. But then that way, I feel bad for Morgan because
Poor kid doesn't get to sleep.
right, so I usually take him out in the morning before I go to work, and I brush his hair, and we hang out a bit, and chill, and he can be a little crazy, and he doesn't wake anybody up, but he can get on the bed and cuddle, and maybe we'll watch another TV show or something like that, and I'll brush his hair, and yada yada yada. And this morning, my alarm went off to do that with Morgan, and I slammed that snooze button so hard. I don't usually grumpily hit the snooze, but I was like, if this alarm could never go off again, it would be too soon. And so this morning, I took him out to the bathroom and that kind of thing, but he didn't get basically the 40 minutes to an hour and a half of solo Morgan focused time that he normally gets because I woke up so many times in the middle of the night last night, and I'm like, he doesn't deserve that. He deserves to sleep in peace and play with another dog and not be tortured by our problems. So I think that after a couple days, especially on the weekend, I think I'll be able to get them on kind of a little bit more of a cohesive, puppy, respectful schedule. But it was so crazy last night that I was I rolled over. Clara was on the bed, and I rolled over and I was I nudged her with my foot. So basically, I kicked her, but it wasn't a mean kick. It was just wake up. And I was go take care of your spawn. And she looked at me, and she looked through the door at them screaming. And she looked at me, and she got up. And she went in my bathroom, and I had left my shower door open because I have a walk-in shower. And she went and laid down in the walk-in shower, which is the furthest point in my room and or on that side of the house away from the puppies. And she was take care of yourself. She was I'm not going by them. You're on your own. She wanted nothing to do with your screaming. So I was oh God, it's going to be a very long night.
Heavy bun.
Having fun.
Lots of pizza roll.
What's a pizza roll?
It's a pizza in a roll form. It's very yum. It's also going to kill me. Yeah, and I will say, thank God for her on a couple different levels, but if there's something wrong with them, she's like a flash. She's going to check on them.
Yeah, today, this morning as I was waking up, Hellcat was in the toy bin, and I wouldn't have woken up if Clara wasn't crazy barking to get my attention, because she knew I was in the house, but she knew that I didn't know Hellcat helped herself to the toy bin.
Right. So so she definitely will let me know if there's something truly wrong with them. So some of all of this is just them learning how to talk and learning that they can be loud and obnoxious and they can play and do stuff and
Go to your kennel.
I would prefer sleeping.
I'll be back later. I think I sat and peed.
Ew. But yeah. So that's kind of what's up right now, is that they have decided that screaming bloody murder is the new fun activity of the day. and I wholeheartedly disagree. But no one asked me, so here we are. But I mean, it's kind of like that weird baby phase. You know how like babies sometimes have to like scream it out, or like, you know how like with newborns, and some of you guys might not know this, but like sometimes with like really little babies, not necessarily like super newborns, but like in between newborn and toddler, they go through this thing where they're like totally just like talking in the middle of the night to like absolutely no one. So they're just making noise, like almost to make noise. And they're not hurting anything and they don't need your help, but like, you're like, dude, I haven't slept all day, be quiet. And so that's exactly what it was like with them, is that like I would come in here and like they would be like, hey, we missed you. And I'd be like, I missed you too. And they would be quiet. And they would just start playing. But if I left, they would be like, hey, come back. And they'd just start screaming. And I was like, no, we're not doing this. Like, no, we're not doing this. No, we're not doing this. No. Ugh. I know I see you. Hello, Crazy Bunnies. Hello, would you like pictures taken, Crazy Buns? Good boy, Patches. That's a very good boy. Hello, Psycho Bunnies. Jerk, what are you doing? I am a crazy and martini. What are you doing? Stratus is a warlord. What do you want? You? Stratus, why are you eating me? Do not eat me. Y'all are nippy nips. Nips. Why are you nipping me, Melon Wall? Melon Wall. It's a melon. A wall of melons. With that. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. As I see you, I need a toy for your mouth. I need a toy. I need a toy for your mouth. I know I see you. You nippy nippy. Nippy nippy nippy. No, we are not gonna bite my pants. Oh no, we're not gonna do it. No. No, we're not. We're gonna eat these guys. Look at this guy. Him right here. Look at him. He's sloth. He would love to be eaten. Sloth. Pheasant. No, sir. Sloth. There you go. No, sloth. Thank you. Why don't you bug your mama? See, look. No. Why don't you try that on your mama? She's gonna eat you. Hi. No. Hello, sir. What are you doing? No. This. This is what you need to eat. Your little melon wall. Melon wall. Melon wall. Wall of melons. That's you. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh yeah, no one caught you. No one. No one. Go boy, Crazy Town. No sir. Eat this. Take it. Take that pheasant. Oh, see, she's gonna get you.
Told you. Warned you. Tried. Tried to help you. She says no. She says that's rude. Oh, Hatches, are you smart enough not to do it by her? Oh, did you get nailed earlier? It's like, yeah, she told me not to bite you. I'm gonna do it anyway, but not in front of her. Thank you, Mama. Hey, Mama, why don't you take care of this heathen? Get some bro. Ow! Hatches, stop it. Good job, Emma. You got that, babe? Got it? Four buns got it. What are you doing, Shredded? Are you winking at me? Oh, that's a good boy. You like the hammock bed?
I love the hammock bed. I love it. I love it. It's so fun. Hammock bed.
Yeah, you like it up here?
I do. I love it. I love it. It's great.
Hatches, we're not gonna eat that in there, sir.
Move, Mama.
Come on. Come on. Get it out. Excuse me. Yes. Come on, Hatches.
Good job, buddy. You got the unicorn?
I got the unicorn. I love this.
Ooh, it's Halloween every day here. Don't destroy that, okay? Clara's like, I'm gonna totally kill this unicorn. This is why we can't have nice things, ma'am. Get it, Hatches. Get this little horn.
Hatches, look at this pheasant.
You can't have everything you toy for.
Hatches. Hatches.
Nope. This is mine now. Pheasant or unicorn? Pick. I can't pick. I can't pick. You can take that one? No, you get one of them. Pick one. Your child gets one. You gotta share with your children. Got donuts, sir? I got donuts. Oh, no, you do not. You better potty. No, we're not settling in here with a donut. Get out. Get out. Thank you. Nope. We don't go to the donut bar. That's not a potty place. That's not a place to play. Nope. Nope. You don't have to potty. You're just trying to play in a potty. No. Take your little donut that way. Good job, buddy. I'm gonna go out the other end, and then I'm gonna go. Oh, good boy. There you go. Please don't do it. You got it? No, sir. We're not going in there.
Get Mom. Say, I'm a donut. Are you a donut, Mom? Donut.
Nope, you're not doing it. No. Go play over there. What is it with you, you little litter box freak? No. What's up, Vogue? too. Bro, watch your back. Oh
Hey Kelly,
no! Yeah?
before I forget, we need more bleach.
Okay.
How much is this stuff at Lowe's too?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
We have a donut war going on.
What do you mean?
I mean, Hatches was like pouncing on the hammock bed to try and get the donut from Martini, who was under the hammock bed. And then Hatches stole it and he ran away, and now Martini's trying to get it back.
Okay.
This has been like 5 minutes.
Alright then.
Give me this. Don't, Clara. Clara just won the donut war. Can I have that, ma'am?
Win.
Thank you. Hey, Martini. You going to the potty? Clara, don't you dare take it. No, you're not going in the potty with the donut. Don't look at me. Oh, why are you wanting me? Oh, it's a good girl. You better potty, sir. Nope, give me this donut. Clara. Clara. Hatches, get out of the potty. Move, Mama. Get out of the potty. Go. This is not where we sleep. We don't sleep in the potty. Clara, right now. Hatches, come on. No, sir. Go play. Hatches, come here. The donut. The donut calls to me. Don't lick me. The donut, it calls. Clara.
Oh, that's where she got you, you bitter. She worried for you. Show me good, please.
Amelia? Yeah? Okay. What are you burying? Yeah. You got a donut, sir? Good. Hi, Mama. Are you gonna get out so I can take pictures? No. Sir, where do you think you're going? You got the donut? Here. Take it. Take the donut for the donut war. You want this donut? Flail.
seeing this question. Quite honestly, these guys are actually going to start to go outside to go to the potty, and we're going to introduce them to grass. At 8 weeks plus, I've never used a litter box or potty pads. So personally, I do the outside thing. However, if they're not able to be taken out enough, what I'm going to do is we're going to give them a litter box inside the crate, I think. But I haven't given them exposed potty pads in about 2 weeks because they think they're toys and they're going to shred them. Hi, Brady. Yeah, right? We miss you. But I haven't given them potty pads in about 2 weeks that are exposed because they tear them up. So I would use a litter tray over potty pads. That said, you don't have to use anything crazy complicated. I think they'll pretty much use anything. And hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll have pellets left over, so you guys can technically like take some of those so you know what they look like, or take a picture of the bags, or I'll post a picture of the bags so that you can kind of get an idea. I'll send you guys home with some potty pads too, so that you can, especially those of you guys that are flying and stuff, so that if you have to do like a terminal swap or something like that, you actually have somewhere for them to go to the bathroom. I would use litter instead of potty pads, or I would use one of those potty pad frames that holds the potty pad down. The other thing is I can't really tell you guys what size to use, but usually using the bottom of a cat litter pan will work in the back of a kennel about this size, or like the 500 or the 450 impact crate or something, you know, in that general ballpark of medium to large kennels. And or giving them some kind of tray, like the trays that I'm using. You guys can't really see them right now, but you'll definitely see them when you come to pick them up. They're concrete mixing trays from like Lowe's and Home Depot, and they're like $8 a piece. And so that's what I'm using, because they're heavy industrial plastic, and there's not really anything they can do to them. So that's what I'm using. And that's why, because I didn't want something they can mess around with, but these aren't going to fit inside their kennels. They might fit in the 450. I'll try for you guys when I get new ones tomorrow and maybe see how they fit in the 450 to see if they'll fit in some of the impact crates, or like maybe an extra large wire kennel or something like that. But you could definitely get like a bunny litter tray or a small animal litter tray, and they would use it. But if you can monitor and maintain when they're eating and when they're drinking and stuff like that, and keep track of that, I honestly, like, hand of God, have never litter or potty pad trained a puppy as part of their normal housebreaking routine at 8 weeks when picking them up. So, I mean, you can definitely do it without that. And you guys will also be added to, Jenna, you guys aren't there yet, but a couple days before go home, I would say probably right around like New Year's Eve, I'm going to have you guys join the Poop School group for owners. So you guys will get documents and instructions and stuff like that, as well as other people. Clara, stop trying to murder your child. Yeah, I know he bites. Thanks. We all know he bites. That's a bit much. But you guys will all get into that group, and it'll have like, okay, well, this is how you can use a potty pad, this is how you can use a litter tray in a kennel, or with a pen and kennel set up together, or different options like that. So you guys will be able to kind of check out some of that info a little bit before you bring them home. But typically I just take them out a lot. Like basically every time I think that it's like, I'm like, I can't literally remember just getting up to take them out, I'm like, I need to get up and take them out. Which typically ends up being like every hour or so, every 2 hours, something in that ballpark. And that might be like, you guys might be like, do you really take them out like every anywhere from 40 minutes to like hour and a half? And the answer is yes. Yes, I do. But I also usually have my dogs, especially if it's like a house environment, not a kennel environment, but this even goes for kenneling. That usually my puppies are house trained very quickly. And I don't think, except for it being my fault, which I mean, it's really always my fault, but usually we have very few accidents. Like, I can remember Clara having maybe 3 accidents. Morgan had like 4. Mouse had none because I got him when he was older. Dresden had 3. So I mean, you know, and that's like with me working like a job. It's not like it's like, oh, I just stay home all the time and whatever. And you definitely want to make sure you can check on them in the middle of the day, and you can, you know, make sure that they can get let out on a good schedule. And if you can't do that, you 100% want to make sure they have access to some kind of litter tray or box or potty pads. But it really comes down to what works best for each of the dogs. I wouldn't give these guys potty pads because I think they're crazy heathens and I think they're going to destroy them.
They will destroy them because.
But like Emily, yeah. Like the ones that lock in the trays, I feel like you might be safe using that. But one thing with the litter too that's nice is it clumps around whatever potty they make. So like on a potty pad, I don't like potty pads because like it sits on top. So if they poop, then their poop is exposed. So if they want to bury it or something like that, they have to use the blanket or they have to get rid of it some other way, be creative. If they want it gone and it's not in the litter, they have to find a way to get it gone because you're not there to get rid of it. So I personally would do litter if I was going to do it. But I don't think I'll have to do it with Hellcat. I might do it with you guys for the sake of support. But it would literally, like, if I use a potty tray when crate training and or housebreaking her, it will purely be just so that I can sit there alongside you guys and be like, yeah, that sucked. Or yes, that worked. It won't be because that's what I normally do. Sorry. But I hope that helps. I don't know what part of that sounded perfect, but I hope whatever it is actually a good thing. Because I'm not sure. Sir, would you like to have your picture taken?
No, sir.
He's like, what? I wasn't asking you. You're not a sir.
No, I was not. I'm falling asleep, but I can't sleep until 12:30.
Why? Okay, so my dragon game has this free dragon, right?
Oh, you gotta do it right away.
He's like, no. It has this free dragon, but they changed the whole. And in order to get the prizes, you gotta. You gotta claim the candy canes they have every day, and it resets every 24 hours from when you claim it. And I already missed like 3 of them.
Get that one.
Hi, Mr. Jerk. Hi, Mr. Jerk. Jerk.
Okay. Stop looking like you're abused. Thank you.
Subsy whoops. Yo, sir.
I don't have anything for you. Get off me.
Come here, bud.
This is a picture.
See over. Hi.
Let's watch game. Yes. Thank you, sir. What's up, Yoda? Thank you, sir. Move it. I like to move it. I like to get you out of kennel.
She's like, wait, what?
Go get it.
That's a trap.
Go get it. It
Like,
is.
No,
It's like
that's a
fireworks.
trap.
It's a trap. It's definitely a trap. Get out of here. Go.
Can't do it.
Do it. You can
Do it.
Do it.
Do it. Do
Up
it.
it. Do it.
Agility. Over. Go on. Go jump. Go jump. Go jump.
You gotta jump it, not
Upward
stand
wheel,
on it.
Satan. Come on. Go. Go. Run.
Wait, what?
Come on, go. She's like, can't make a running start. I am a problem. That wasn't gonna help you. Go. Thank you.
Ah.
Can you put the broom up so she can on my head? Up. Take off my phone. Alright, Satan children. Give me this back. You can't have technology. You're too young.
Why can't I
You'll
have
find
technology?
weird friends on Bumble or something. Get off. Oh, yeah. If you pee on this, we're not cool. I'll send you off. I'll find someone. You know how many people have asked for you? I'll
many.
ship you to China.
What?
Maybe just to like Seattle. But I'm just saying. Children. Oh, I have nothing for you.
Nice. Go for it.
I just did those three maybe?
Just those three. Oh, you did all of them already?
No. But I was
And I'm like, there's no way you did all
No,
of
I
them.
was counting and I was like, I'm missing one. Get off of my phone. Go. Get off. Okay, can I go watch the Mandalorian or something? Get out of here.
I'm gonna attempt to bring a pen in here. Attempting the,
Why are we all trying to be here right now? That's my iPhone. You don't need an iPhone. You have humans. They might give you an iPhone. You should talk to them about it. You have to wait till you're older. I don't approve of anybody getting electronic devices until they're at least 10.
I picked it up, I can't get it over. Not that high. I get it.
Hey, get off my toes.
Sir, stop
Get
with
in,
the
come
bad
on.
life choices.
Come on, dude.
Bad life choice.
Dude.
What?
You, come on. I can't pass you buttons if you be like,
I need to get my phone.
staying. Yes. What about now? What's that, baby Yoda? Why are you picking on me? Baby Yoda.
What? Yeah. Fun.
You sure?
Oh no. Oh no. Poor thing. Oh, you
she's
poor
definitely
thing.
thin.
Oh, you poor thing. You've been reduced to a thing. I know.
Oh, there's a button there?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a button there.
You got it.
You got that one?
Got this one.
Got that one.
Took me a hot second, but I got it.
That is a teeny button.
But I am a melon walla.
Oh boy, jerk,
Wall
jerk.
of melons.
Oh, there's a cheese on my phone. Whoa.
Yo, Kit Kat. No ma'am, that's gonna fall. I'm not gonna say you.
Take it. It's not gonna fall. She's gonna come through it.
Thank you.
Satan child?
What's happening?
All of it.
Okay, I need Stratus hatches or bogey.
Move on.
Good blood. Oh, God. I almost stepped on tail. Whatever. Oh.
That was adorable.
You got a thing on your face. What is that?
I don't know what that is. Why?
I just live to make weird sounds now.
Mm-hmm.
If I ever make another weird sound,
Meow.
did you just make that sound?
Yeah.
They're mimicking you. You just need bows and hatches.
Yeah.
Watch out, sea wolf.
Big Sally count.
There's a bow.
Stratus.
There's a bogey.
Ooh, that was almost topsy-turvy-ish. Oh, bogey, bogey. Bogey, bogey. Bogey, bogey. Bogey, 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 bogey. Bogey, bogey. He's like, why? Bogey. Bogey, bogey. Bogey, bogey, bogey.
Leave me? No, not gonna leave. Here you go.
I got one more bun. Martini, why are you living this life?
Why not?
Because fences are not for numbing. He's like, they are if I numb them.
It's Hell Kittens. What are you doing, Hell Kittens? We could just call you Hell.
Well, yeah, because that's.
Could you imagine recalling? That would be so fun.
Hell! People would be like, what is wrong with you?
Well, if anyone gets whoever gets jerks keeps his name. Don't do it, Mom.
Thank you.
Oh, stop doing your pee, dude. Come here. Stop it.
Tea towel.
Foot.
Do you have a tea towel?
Yeah, the pee towel. He needs to be his foot.
Okay, children.
He hit his back foot and he kept grabbing his
Are
front
you like?
foot.
What are you doing there?
Dude, that's a lot of pee. It like literally soaked up half the towel, dude.
Who's half the towel, dude? Where are the hatches? Oh no! Oh, ready? Boop! Where'd he go?
Alright, I'll be right back. I have to grab my hair tie.
Okay.
That's what I'm
When you come back, can you bring cookies? Dog cookies, not human cookies.
I don't have any human cookies.
That's what I
Wait,
said.
Mom?
Dog cookies, not human cookies.
Yeah, but we don't have any human cookies, so
I'm sure we have some somewhere.
Oh, they're in the pantry.
Right.
Yeah, it's in the pantry. You're not gonna actually remember that stuff.
What? I said you're not gonna remember that stuff. It's cool.
Hatches, where are you gonna live?
He's like, I don't know, man.
Where are you going?
Give me my bag back. Give it back. I want my bag.
Hello. Oh, yeah. Miss Kitten, what you doing? Why are you numbing my phone?
You're legitimately why we can't have these things, you little heathen children.
What?
What are you doing, huh?
Oh, that's a very good man. Thank you.
What are we doing crazy town for here?
Doggo cookies. Okay, that's nice. I'm actually just gonna escape, I think. Sorry, I thought that the car would jump
No,
outside.
you're fine. Why are we all on that side now? Because you opened the floodgates.
Now we're here. Actually, this is really long.
I'll put you open tomorrow though. I'm just like, I'm gonna be
I
carrying more.
took out, I think, one of the long legacies, in the fridge. So you'll have some for tomorrow evening.
Oh yes, we all love the scale.
Okay, here.
Human and children.
What?
Doggos. Hi, I can't keep you all in here. I'm very sorry. Some of you are gonna have to leave. Ashes was here first.
Oh, to complain.
I know. Are you ready, buddy? He's like, I was born ready. Put me on his skin. Alright, Betty. Come on, Hatcher. Get off. Come on, get off. Good boy.
Dude, this guy's huge.
I thought this was one at your feet.
SeaWorld. Yeah, I thought
Ready?
it was SeaWorld for a
Come on,
second.
in the
I'm like,
box.
wait a second, no it's not.
Good job. Good. You gotta sit down. Ready?
What?
10. Good job.
You sure?
No.
Go with me.
It's going to be 9:15.
Mine's 14.
What do you want?
Excuse me. Hi.
Hello.
Martini.
Teeny.
Or who is this? Who would like to come with me?
That's probably what
I
you're
know. Who would like to come over here?
Move your face.
Hi. You get to come. You. I picked you.
You win the
choose
bundle
lottery.
Give me a rag before somebody. No, I need a rag.
I know. I'm getting that too.
Oh, you saw that?
Yeah, cool. Okay, you take this for the poop child and for that.
See you first.
Buns.
On the box, please. Come on. Hi. Okay. Get on. Here. You can't sit on the thing that has the plate. No. That's a lot.
Done? Get out. Ah. Yo, jerk.
I can see you sitting over there.
That's why you're here. Did you get Sundog?
Yeah.
Huh?
And we need the, like, tomorrow we have to have the chart back up because I've got to get hold of it.
Hey, jerk. Two. Good job, buddy. Good job. Good job, Ghost. Right, hi. Here, you can have this. Would you also like one? Here. Like, who?
That's Stratus.
Stratus can come. What are you guys doing?
You dropped the cheese, dork.
You just
Let me get the door.
Alright, ready? Come on, out of the box.
What?
going to. Here.
Okay.
Here.
Well, really?
Here, you want this last cheese? Here you go. You were good. You did just what I needed you to do.
Didn't interfere.
Okay. Let's really see. Hatches, you can't go back for more. Sorry, dude. Come here, Warbun.
Yeah, Warbun.
Come here, bud.
Warbun.
Dear goodness, Hatches. Drama, dude.
He's like, I'm just gonna be here.
You get on this box for me? Come on. What you get now, Warbun?
Oh, Warbun. Here. Ow, that's my toe, you little lie.
Goodness.
That is
fine.
such a good little Warbun.
Stop it.
Hatches, don't even think about it, bro.
Teeny. Teeny's been walled over here. Stepped on or something or other.
Move, Seabun. Hi, guys. Teeny.
Ouch. Drink soup. Ouch. Teeny. I need more teeny.
Can you get on this box for me?
Martini. Come on, buddy. Hi. Martini. Sure. Hello, what you looking for?
Hi. Hey, what you looking for here? You have to actually sit on it. Come right here.
What are you doing? Come on.
I'm being my weird self. Come here, weird.
Oh, sir. I take that back. Thank you. Clutching your face, dude.
Martini.
Boop. And you
are a challenge today, aren't you? Yeah, that's really cute. You can have the rest of them. Hey, you guys, come on. That's a bed. Everyone. The answer is everyone. Guess you guys can have that one. Hellcat. Hi, guys. You want this cookie? Oh, thank you. Oh, or you can just drop it. Martini, you want one? Or you can slide it all over the place. Hi. What's up, Martini?
No.
Come on. Shut the front door. Oh, you didn't even get it. What is with you and this weirdness? Woo. Oh, no. Okay. I do the thing here, but you're not in the right spot. But you did it that way. Sit. Tiny butt. Yeah.
You scream at that cheese.
What are you doing, little freak?
Sit.
Working my abs. Wow. I don't believe it. 9, 10.
9, 8.
What?
Where are you, folks?
No, sir. No. I'm stealing your brother. Too bad. I'm stealing him.
No, sir. Come here. I can't get a good weight on you.
Yeah, we'll just go with that, whatever.
I don't care, you're mine.
I'm not jipping anybody else on it.
Oh, what are you doing? Bravo! Bravo, little boy, bravo! I clap for her. I do a cow thing and I do this thing.
Got him? Literally, Hatches, why are you this way?
Come on, hey. Come on, get on the box.
Really? Where are you? Come on. Your tushy there.
Hey, come on. Your whole tushy has to be on this.
And I vote that we leave one of them outside of the pen. Just to see if I get the same thing.
Yeah. Yo, what? This is weird jailbreak, guys.
Get off.
Nobody breaks into jail. They do.
They're like, but the cookies are in the jail. The cookies are in the jail.
Yo, come out. Come on. Come here, see. Let's see. What's this jerk jerk? Come here, jerk. Jerk jerk. Jerk. Come here, jerk.
Whatever, what do you want?
Yeah, I'm trying to put a bed back in here. Jerk.
Okay, yeah.
Jerk. Woo. What do you want?
I don't care.
Hey, you look fine. Come here. He's like, I do the things. I'm a good fun. Until I'm not.
That's a happy dance. That was adorable.
Give me more cookies.
Yeah, me too. It's a good cookie. I don't have any right now. Meanwhile, he's like, yes. And?
That was freaking adorable.
And this is what we mean by you have to prove things in different environments.
Literally just moved it outside of the pen.
And now he's like,
crazy.
okay, we need one more.
Can you take that one back?
Here's mama. Here's mama. She's like, I want tricks.
I don't think I can afterwards. Okay.
Alright.
One more, just in case.
No, why not?
Because you are a big one inside the pen.
Move it, mama. Move it. Move it, mama.
She's like, I do things. I do this. I fell.
Okay, yeah, it's now two. The tail was moving so much I couldn't really tell. I was like,
Alright then.
okay.
Alright.
Mommy, are you done?
Like, I do this You're horrible. Holy fudge buckets.
Wow. Okay.
Clara is 85.8 pounds. Or 85 pounds, 8 ounces. Whatever.
She was 89 the last time I weighed her, like, I think.
Yeah, she didn't eat. You wasn't enough food. Had no milk. Whatever.
Pick the scenario.
Hi, sir. I'm like, wait, I get the man thing. Hi. Hello. Can I come in this gate? Hello. Hi. What are you doing, Travis? Buggy? That's a trick. Wait, what? I'm confused. I do it. That's a good boy.
Love you.
I can. See? I did it. I do see. You're very good boy. I'm very proud of you. I am okay. Hi, Stratus. Your kitten looks my left. Stratus. Good boy. Got a toy? Stratus. Hi. What are you doing up there? What are you doing down there? What are you doing? Come here.
Yes. Good boy.
Hello.
Here,
Patches. He's like, I'm gonna visit the camera as I eat the water bucket.
Kit Kat's like, so what about me? Hi. Hi, David.
You want one? Whoa, hi, I wasn't talking to you. You always whoop, two things for cheese. She's like, this is bullshit. They just have to sit? I'm giving it to your spawn, you freak.
Look, no, I clean up all the cheese that they drop.
That's fine. I gave it
Because
to them.
I scare them, and then I get the cheese because I drop it. And then, oh crap, I got mobbed. I'm getting mobbed. Oh crap. Oh crap. I'm cornered. Oh crap. Oh crap. There's not enough space in here. Oh, cheese. Cheese, 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 cheese. Oh, I'm getting mobbed.
You need to
Getting out. Here's your shoe.
She's like, anything for cheese. I'll let them all eat.
You'll let them all eat your cheese?
She totally just sidestepped them all though. Like she got the cheese and was like, I don't have any more. It's gone. It's
But you
gone.
have the cheese.
Bit gone. You have the cheese. You don't have the cheese. It's gone. There's no cheese. She's like, crap. Give that up somewhere. I don't care where.
I'm just leaving them here in case we put them in the kitchen again. Then they can't get as much cloud.
Well, I'll have to move that anyway.
What?
We'd have to move that anyway. If
Yeah.
we left them in the kitchen, I can't let them in the kitchen with the scale, dude.
Yeah.
Be horrendous. Dump that cheese.
Where's
That last thing that's on
this
there.
cheese?
You should go get that cheese.
Go on, get it, hurry! You stepped on it and it flew.
Hi, guys. Hello.
Move, mama. Don't move.
Hi. Excuse-moi. Cheese, please. Hold on.
I'm just trying to kennel so I don't feed my pork.
Thanks a lot for the cheese. I want you just on that.
You want this?
Oh, that's small.
Good
Yes.
deal. You gotta go
Hello. Who would like the nuts? Hi.
Good deal.
Hi. Hello.
What are you doing? So you growled in there?
Excuse me. No.
Yes.
Go potty.
Let's swap hands because I can't do this left-handed. These buns are like left hands. And I'm like, shit. You guys dropped the cheese, yeah? You're not sitting. He's like, why is that required? Hellcat's like, meh. You know, if you want it, you have to be sitting. There's a lot of craziness right now.
Good, Jenny. Sit.
I will get to you. Going? What you do, ma'am? Little Mustang. You dropped it, Hatchet. You gotta eat it. Billy, you guys are crazy. There's cheese everywhere. Cheese everywhere. Here. You did it. Yeah, look at you, figured it out. And it's like, you mean I just sit here and I'm cute and somebody feeds me? What? You know, if you drop it, you want one? You guys are eating a lot of cheese. Whoa!
That's
Cheese
a lot of
fest!
cheese.
And
Oh.
that's
Better than spilling water.
fat.
Jackpot, everybody. Have fun, chickens. They're like, score! Wait, Hellcat, oh my god, you're so cute.
What?
She's like, I'm not going for the cheese, I'm sitting. Oh my god, you guys too? Aww. I'm sorry that you well-behaved children don't get anything. Hold on.
I think that was
Look at it! I mean, like, I'm not even gonna half of them are like, I can't move and go get that. Then she won't give it to me. That's adorable.
That is adorable.
That's so cute, you guys. Hi, good puppies. Oh, the good puppies. Yes, I know. There's still some more over there. See, we can't go get those nummies. You cannot eat my jewelry. You gonna eat those, buddy? Eat them, Stratus. Eat them, Pudge Pudge. Hi. Did you like doing that? Was that fun? Was that fun? That was a fun. You guys are silly. That was a fun. Look at this. It's an inappropriate toy. Why is it that I come home from work and you guys are like, let's pee on everything? Oh, guys, I'm tired. Yeah, he does kind of look like him, Jenna. And Bogey looks a lot like Arrow, so that also makes sense Jerk is bae. Yeah. Yeah, he kind of is. Hi. Well, hello, chillins. Are we chillaxing? We're chillaxing. Oh my goodness, so much pounce. Hello, bae. Brady says you're bae. Hi. Why are we numbing me? Look, this is a Zippy Paws unicorn. It wants your love. Look at it. It wants a love. Oh my god, that's my face. Hi. You know, I think it was enough when we scratched my eyeball. Oh, get it, Hedges. Get this shark. Baby shark. Baby sloth. Unicorn. Full grown unicorn. Get it. Get it. It's a climb to slay unicorn. Oh no. Oh no, it's going down. What? Who wants a donut war? Shut up. What? You know, sloth. Oh look, I have cheese. Who wants the cheese? Hey, Martini. Oh. Get him. Go get him. Uh-oh, this shit's getting real, like, on my lap. What am I, base? Oh, crap. I work really hard to not be base. Why am I being base? Why am I base? Why am I base? This tastes like peanut butter, doesn't it? Mmm. Space Ratchet.
This is good when you can't have it.
Look at them. They'd be like, what are you doing? Hello, buddy. What are you doing? I'm gonna get that toy. What are you doing? Alright. Oh, the string. I love it. I love the string. Hello, Hedges. Boop. What you guys up to? We're watching Auntie Abby. She's getting numbers. Hi, Bo. No, you can't have the string on my phone. You can't, jerk. You can't. What are you doing? No, I'm gonna boop it. Wanna boop? Wanna boop the string? Get off my shirt. This is a puppy bite-free shirt. Not now. Not now it's not. It is now a puppy bite shirt. Puppy bite shirt. Puppy bite shirt. Puppy, 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 puppy. Where's the donut? Oh, no you don't, Satan child. Here. Put that in your mouth. Put it in your mouth. Put it in your mouth. We're not biting bait. It's not happening. Hello. How is you? Why are you launching yourself in my face, yo? Okay, what are you doing? I'm crazy. I belong outside in the wilds. Put me on a sled like yesterday. Do it. Do it. Put me on a sled. I can pull all the things. Put me on a sled. I can pull all the things. Bye. Bye.
Now.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It got crazy.
What? I'm not.
What are you doing with your little weird hair? She's gonna eat you. I don't care. What do you want? Martini, you got that thing? He's like, I'll live with it. I'll live the life. Off of my phone. I'm getting mauled. Oh my gosh. What are you doing? Hi. Hey. There's a lot of crazy happening. You hear that, Auntie Emmy's making you some special moms.
She said I want. Ready? Quiet. Special mom, okay?
That's a bit much, gentlemen. That's a bit much. Ouch, that's my foot. So that's definitely a bit much.
It's going down. It's going down.
There's pebbles and raw and
Doing, sir? Oh, you gonna attack my phone?
whoa.
That's a crack.
Hello.
What's up, Yoda
Who's your son?
Right now, Warbun and Seawolf. With Yoda ears.
Oh.
You gonna meow me? No, I'm crazy. You got a tail? Look at these two. They're crazy. Got him! Look at my war face! You didn't hit that. What's up, light buns? Slightly toasty buns. What's up, slightly toasty buns? We're just slightly toasty. These are super toasty. Are you a toasty bun? Definitely a toasty bun. Also a toasty bun. Hellcat and his burnt bun.
She is burnt bun.
Yep, she does.
She's burnt with lightly toasted edges.
Broken toaster.
He face planted at that last.
Crazy. They're so loud now.
Clara to know in her crate or out?
In her crate would actually be awesome. Tell her cry, cry. You tell her. Tell her. No, don't mess with him. Oh shit. Oh, dude. Get out of there, you. Shadis, what are you doing? Get out of the potty. Come on, Shadis. You cannot have the phone cord. It's crazy. You can't have it. You want it? What are you doing? Get that sloth out of that potty, Hatches. Get it, Bogey. Bring it back. Come on, Bogey. Give me that sloth. Oh, that was a headbutt. What are you doing? Get it, Bogey. Get the sloth. Save him from the potty. Good boy, Bogey. Good boy. All right, what are you doing to my shirt? No, sir.
I got you. I got you. What's up? Toasty bun? Ow, that's my foot. Here, eat this. Eat this. It's so yummy. Look at it. It's like freaky plastic. Yeah, everybody wants it. Hi, Hitch Hatch. What are you doing, huh? Why are you touching me with this? Like, no, you can't have that. Hitch Hatch. Hitch Hatch. Hitch Hatch. It's like TikTok. Hitch Hatch. TikTok. TikTok. Hitch Hatch. What are you doing? Yeah. Are you done now? We'll let you out in a sec. You got that unicorn, buddy? What are you doing? Oh, no, sir. What you doing, little one?
Are you done with your enrichment card?
I don't know what that means. Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I couldn't. There's you
Alright.
guys parents right now.
Are you giving me some serious side-eye, bro?
Wow.
Yeah, I'm definitely giving you some side-eye. I'm also giving you a sleepy eye. OMG, Auntie Emily woke me up.
Sorry.
It's okay. Yeah, you guys are silly. Are you guys all tuckered out? Are you tuckered? Are you tuckered? I don't feel like you're tuckered enough. I don't feel like you're tuckered enough. I feel like we're gonna have to play cray cray. Ow, 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 ow. That's not playing cray cray, that's bite work. Here. No Tamaskan bite work. No, we not do it. No IPO.
Why not?
No IPO. You not IPO dog. Rawr. Bite sleep. Rawr. Get it. Oh my gosh. Get super tired because I don't want to be up in the middle of the night. Get it. One of us will be so tired that we can't wake up. You can scream all night and maybe I will just sleep through it. OMG. What are you doing? War cry. I will wake you all up. Don't play like I won't. Get it.
all up. Everyone shall wake. Everyone shall wake. You shall live on my schedule. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Can see your face. No rest.
Let me check your puppy pimple.
No, I don't want your toes. I want to eat your hand instead. Ah, no, 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 no.
I can't even see where it was. Guess that means it's fine.
Yes.
I can't tell if it's because he's moving or if it's because I really can't find where it was.
It's on his.
I know where it was
Okay.
generally. It's just like it just in the exact spot. IPO. IPO. Pull the sports. Pull. If you guys don't behave, I'm not taking you to see Togo. And by like taking you, I mean like I'm not putting you in the den with Disney Plus on. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Auntie Emily will let you out in a second. Tell me where you're going. Slutty, 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 slutty. Slutty love. Slutty love. I know, Clara. It's okay. Give me a sec. I'm trying to wear down your buns. Slutty, slutty, slutty. Thank you. Thank you. So, go get it. Thank you. You guys want to meet Baby Shark? You guys aren't going to want to meet Baby Shark, but... Can you let Clara out?
Yeah.
Look at them. that a weird toy? You wanna see it? Yeah. Check it out? You're like, I don't know, that thing makes some weird effing sounds.
They're out now.
You wanna see it, Morgan? What is this? He's like, I am undecided about this shark. Give me my phone back.
Our lawn guy is amazing. He brought our trash can back.
I was wondering if it was you.
Nope, wasn't me. This was our lawn guy. Our lawn guy was like, oh, that's bad. Oh, the dog's
I got-
barking. I'll just do the leaf blower. And he basically just cleaned out the front driveway area.
I give up on this thing. I don't want to hear it anymore. Yeah, they're done. Nope. Okay. So you guys are gonna fun. I don't know if I can turn it off.
We gotta wait. Oh!
There's the cheese. Merry Christmas, people! It goes off. I had no idea it went off. That's what happens when you buy things on Wish for $1. But that's also exactly what happens when you buy things on Wish for $1.
Right. I'm gonna fill your puppy pan.
Thank you.
Just so that you don't
Yes,
have to come
please,
over here.
please, and thank you. 'Cause Hey, Mama.
I'm not doing that. I'm not keeping you. And then Clara's gonna run out of water in the middle of the night.
Probably. She won't die. Do you guys want to see your weird Macarena dude again? Leave, Mama. So he's like, I love him. He's my favorite. He has maracas.
4.5 cups seems like a lot. In here. Should I take some out?
Nah, it's fine. Can you do that pizza? Oh yeah, sure. Oh, no, you don't, ma'am.
I'm just gonna refill her water now.
Okay.
So she has water and she doesn't. No, ma'am.
She's like, hey, you got a Wigsy? Has it?
Yeah, I do, but no, it's not
Is
yours.
this your favorite thing? You didn't even see it? I didn't see
No.
it. Give me the outfit. Also the maracas. Do not headbutt me, you little psychopaths. You're gonna have to talk to your humans if you want Hawaiian shirts and maracas. He's like, I'm not talking to you anymore. You mad at me now, Stratus? He's like, I'm mad at you. Okay, you guys seem too tired. Too early. How you doing? This is Monty.
Do you, for kibble, leave it out for Clara? Did you want this kibble or that kibble?
Honestly, whatever she'll eat.
Huh?
Whatever she'll eat. Like, she's only been eating what they've been eating.
She has about a cup here.
Ciao, Mama.
Oh.
That is not a lazy in there.
What time is it? Do you know?
11:55.
Oh, it's not bad.
No, it's not.
Hey, you guys. Are you gonna wake up in 2 hours? Yes.
Yes.
Can you get more tired, please?
We are tired.
How about more tired?
What is a more tired?
It means that you wake up and you play right now, and you get so tired you can't even walk.
We go outside?
Probably.
I'll take the sweater out.
Yeah, Auntie Emily is so nice to you. I'm dead.
You might have to let her back in.
I think.
Did we put the journal back?
I put it back.
You put it back.
Okay. Because I wasn't sure how much charge left on it. So I was like, if I'm charging all the grooming supplies, I might as well charge that too. Right. I mean, and then I figured we'd know where it is. Take the dog back. Well. I'm gonna sleep after. Just so you know. Come on. You have another TV?
That is cookies.
Oh. This his?
Yeah.
Want it? I'm not throwing this. Fine.
Like, throw it anyway. I'm like,
Yep. Pretty much how I feel. Just throw it. You're gonna take a couple knives with you just in case. For Morgan tomorrow? No?
I don't know. No, I just chucked the one that I chucked out pen. Vet on their 8-week.
What?
Is that appointment?
What date's that?
2nd.
At
And they
what
try
time?
8 weeks at 9 a.m. JC can take the gun. JC can take your gun. She needs to. Otherwise we can take it another time too. You know what I mean? Like we have to. Well, same, but. That was just the best time the vet would be here. They don't like to do full orders on Saturdays. Like they're like only doing like tomorrow and then whatever, but like full orders on Saturday. Well, and especially because it's close to the holidays. So they were like, the deal is we're already gonna be short staffed and then it's a Saturday, so it's already like skeleton staff. So yeah.
I only forgot temporarily. Which is not normal. Normally I'm like, oh my god.
I didn't even, I totally forgot. So if you were like, okay, remind me, and I'd be like,
Right, I told Emily to remind me that it was a day for wormers, and she forgot. I just feel like everyone should know that.
You just happen to look in that direction. Granted, last time I remembered.
Shit, I didn't mean to close that.
Oh.
Come up, I need measurements. Let's see here. You need me to do that?
No, I'm just not getting time to do it.
That's fine, I just want to check. Dosage.
Just takes me a hot minute to actually do it. I can do it.
Okay, everybody is in the 11-ish range. Is there anybody in the 10-pound range?
Hellcat.
Okay. 45. 54. 50. 45. 50, 54.
Ugh. Where's my phone go?
It's over yonder.
Thank you.
Over yonder.
Over yonder.
Alright, I can't put this at you. Can you please put that on a counter? Thank you. Where's
It's barely
Seabun's in there.
It's
so is
barely
Hellcat.
7
Okay.
a.m. and Bonus Bun has already gotten her first bath for the day.
Why did I just brain fart? Okay, 0.5. What? You're getting bigger. Oh, there's your little puppy pimple.
Granted, that is like 9.5 pounds. But
You guys keep nailing each other, man. You're getting these little puppy pimples.
it's even swallowing.
No.
There it goes.
God bless.
Well, I mean, it's teeny. You like this little syringe better?
Yes.
I was like, whoa, wait, what is this?
Those are your teeth.
Help me.
Are you awake? Gotta wake up a little bit more.
Cat's awake.
Hi. You gotta wake up a little bit more. What? Oh, there we go.
Hey, cat.
Where's your cat?
Don't summon demons.
You
What did I
summoned
tell you
me.
about summon demon?
Hello, you summoned me.
I
I
can't
am
give you
here.
this much. You need less than this, so you're gonna have to stay still. Hi, Hatches. Oh, come on, cat. Christ. Hi, Hatches. Ugh. Nom 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 nom. Cat. Bananas.
Oh, speaking of manners.
Oh, don't even. Okay, can you stop that, please? Oh, aren't you a good girl? Oh, turn that on again.
I'm gonna shut them off and then. Sorry. Got it?
Dude. Thank you. Thank you, children.
It's been fun.
Yeah, because it's actually in, like, under the elevator. And that's gonna be the measurement that you're going for is, because right now we're buttoned to half. People.
Oh.
Everybody else is still under half. So yeah, it's like awesome because I had these things. That's easier. Isn't that hot before date? I mean, technically, it was, but.
I don't know if I turned the knob right, but like it turned on or turned it all the way in.
Yeah.
It'll just
Keep
keep
going
going.
until you turn it off or until it hits the timer in.
Ah, okay. I'm like, I don't know how this contraption works, so I turned it
Alright,
on.
guys, let's sign out now.
Like the calming, calm the bones.
What? She chucked the buns outside at like 5 in the morning when she heard all of them wake up.
Yeah.
She's like, we're not doing this in the house. So once they're outside, they're quiet. It's weird.
But it's like so. Yeah.
So
By the time she was about ready to leave for work, she already had to give Bonus Bun a bath. Just like, this is our first
Good
bath
night,
for the day.
YouTubers, because this is our experiment at seeing if they will chill.
Yeah. So, we love you all, but I also really love sleep. You know.
And I spend more time with you guys than I do sleeping, so choosing to make this
An important part of my life right now.
Can we have a little chat right quick here?
Huh?
Talking to this cat. Can we have a chat real quick, ma'am? About how you're gonna not be a little doofus face? Do you need me to do that or you got that one?
I might have it. Keep it like right at the edge.
Yeah, I just pick it up like an inch or two, so that it fits. YouTube. Like good night, good.